Hello and welcome. This is Scott with Project Healing Waters, Fayetteville, North Carolina program. And today's fly is the Barrets turkey nymph. This is a fly that I just pretty much put together. I've gotten several materials that people have brought in from with their animals that they have on their property. And essentially what we have is this is the, I guess it would be called the down feathers of the turkey. It's almost like a marabou like material, and then the straight, nice, colorful ends of the feather. This is the feather that I was given, and the marabou-like fuzzy stuff is what's the hackle. And then as the tail, I've got the tips. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a very nice rainbow-looking tint to it, which I just threw this together and named it after the individual that gave me the turkey feathers, and his name is Garrett. So the materials for this are the hook is a TMC 3769, and we're using a size 14. Using a copper slotted bead, 7/64. The thread we're using is brown, 8/0. Yeah, well, they call this color camel, but it's brown. The dubbing we are using is was a gift from somebody, and they had just unloaded a ton of different dubbing and different colors. So for the body, I'm going to be using this copperish fire brown. Then we're going to enclose it, protect it with Danville's gold fine wire. And then we have the star of it, which is the turkey feather. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll put the bead around the hook and get that situated to where we can start to wrap this thing. So we're going to start our thread behind the bead, and we're going to carry it back to the hook point. But let's go ahead and remove the tag just so we can just get it out of the way. So I'm going to carry this to about the hook point. Now what we want to do is we want to take this feather, and the way I'm going to use this in class is this feather is going to do two different flies. Though I don't know how much, you probably do 4 with the amount of fuzzy material. I don't know, I'd call that marabou, I don't know. But anyway, these are the tips that we're going to use for the tail. And I'm just going to grab, I don't know, let's just say 8 to 10 of them. And then I'm just going to pop them off. Like so. We got a straggler there. And essentially what we just want this straight coming off the back. So let's go ahead and put it in. And we just want about a gap length off the back of the hook. So I'm going to bring that up. And that's about a hook gap, maybe a little more. And then we're going to hold the fibers down towards us so we can carry this thread to the back of the hook without moving the fibers. Because if you don't hold the fibers secure, the feather is going to wrap where you're sending the thread. Yeah, I had to think about that one real quick. So now what we need to do is we need to grab our, I think I got a piece right here. Okay. We're going to grab our fine wire, and we're going to tie this in at the bend of the hook. Alright, now we're just going to carry all this material forward. I want to keep the turkey fibers there just to build on top of the shank of the hook. And it'll just add some some depth to the fly. It really doesn't matter because we're adding dubbing, but anyway, it's my fly, so I'm going to do it. And we're going to remove the remaining. Let's go ahead and put a couple more wraps in there just to make sure that's secure. Then we're going to bring our thread back to the bend of the hook at our starting point back here, our ending point. Now we're going to grab some of this copper dubbing. It's really it's pretty dubbing. But remember, with dubbing, we just want to do tiny amounts. And we're going to stretch it out and create a dubbing noodle. This is fine dubbing, so I found that using this and tightening it really tight onto the thread, it cinches down on it. So I don't do very tight dubbing noodle. And so let's just go ahead and carry this forward and just gradually building up the body of this fly. It looks like we need a tad bit more. No, a little less than that. Yeah, that looks about good. Remember, less is always good with this. Especially this fine dubbing, because it will be a pain to get it off the thread. So we're just going to wrap this. There we go. And we don't have to worry about around the bead too much because we're sticking that fine, the marabou type fibers in there. So now let's take our gold wire and we are just going to counter wrap, creating a rib, and this will secure our dubbing for fish with a lot of aggressive teeth. Because if you don't, then this stuff's just going to be shagging off the hook. So now let's just come in and secure the wire. And you can helicopter this off, but I'm going to go ahead and just use my cheap old scissors and cut it off. Now what we want to do is we want to grab the remaining feather. Here's where I removed the tail. So I'm just going to strip it on down, all the way down, like so. And then this is what we end up with. And it's almost like a CDC hair, marabou, but it's really nice fibers. And I thought that this would really look pretty underwater. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want these straight fibers here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut into it and remove that. So I'm just going to get up in here and boom. Alright, so now we've got pretty much all these down-like fibers. Now what you want to do is you want to get your scissors, and when you get back to the part of the stem, that the thick part of the stem, you just want to get in here, and you can cut that off too. It really doesn't matter. It just could get in your way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a tie-in point, and instead of ripping these off with my fingers, I am just going to cut to reveal a tie-in. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to push these feathers back. And now this is the kind of the important part of tying in this. You want to have, this is a very thick, strong part of the stem. And I found out that if you don't tie it downwards, and let me just show you. So we're going to point that down in an angle, and essentially, yep, that's what we didn't want. Like this. If you don't do that, then this thing will curl up on you, and it's hard to maneuver it back because it's such a thick feather. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to remove the remaining, and then we're just going to push that back, put some wraps, make sure it's secure. Now what we want to do, we want to take this and we want to put this on as close to the bead as possible. We don't want it drifting backwards this way. We just want to put it on the bead and just kind of overlap it, and let's just push these fibers back. There we go. There's one good wrap. Okay, just make sure they're not getting all nasty and entangled up. And there's another good wrap. And we're just going to force all this stuff back, and then we're going to capture the remaining feather. Okay, I'm going to put 2 wraps in it, maybe 3. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we'll push all of this back and put several wraps in it just to make sure it's secure. Now what we want to do is we want to take the remaining of this feather without taking the whole bottom half of the fibers. Just gently pick that off. Now what we have is we've got this streaming all the way back. Do we want that? No. So we're gonna snip that off. But first, let's go ahead and grab these fibers and push them back, and then we're just going to work our thread in. Just to one, you can build a collar, a nice little brown collar against this gray feather, and 2, it'll force those fibers back. So now let's grab our whip finish and save our work. And 4, alright, there we go. Now what we don't want to do is capture a lot of this crap, because it's very, very stringy and tends to like staticky, so it'll just jump right onto that thread. So make sure that's nice and tight, and then we're going to cut that. So now what we have is we have a very furry furry fly. But let's go ahead and reveal what's underneath all this. There's our straight feathers. There's our dubbing with our thin wire. So now let's just go ahead and want this to probably come off to the back of the fly, which is right about here. So we're going to take our fingertips and we're going to put them there, and then we're just going to pinch it off. And bring these around, and the same thing, we're just going to pinch away. Okay, a little long over here. Just take your time. I have not fished this yet, nor the ants in that I did for the mayflies, but I am going to be in Maggie Valley this coming up weekend, and I will definitely be throwing this on a nymph rod just to see what happens. I think there's a lot of action on this thing. So here we have Barrets turkey nymph, and I'll just have to get back with y'all and let you know what the status of how it fished. This is Scott with Project Healing Waters, Fayetteville, North Carolina program, and we appreciate you watching and viewing our flies. If you like what you see, please like and share. Certainly, we would appreciate any people who decide to follow us. And our numbers are increasing, so I think we're doing something good. We aren't. Let me say we do have some really good fly tires, but I am not a professional fly tire, so this isn't something. I'm just trying to point you in the right direction to become a good fly tire. I don't have the time or the energy to become an expert in this. I just pointing our vets in the right direction, and hopefully they can learn something and direct their focus towards something else. Again, this is Scott with Project Healing Waters, Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we appreciate you watching. Thank you.